Gary the Cat says, how much of the fan chatter can you hear when you're on the mound? Has there ever been something you've heard that had really got under your skin, or at the end of the day, or are you thinking, I'm playing the game that I love, making a lot of money doing it, and your words mean nothing?
Both. I think early on in your career, you take words a lot more personal than later on in your career. But yeah, there's times where I remember a great story I have. When I'm in the zone and I'm pitching well in a loud stadium, you hear it, but it doesn't really factor in. I say it doesn't factor in. I'll counter that with something else. But I'm pitching at Chase middle of 2018, I think, and I was having a terrible second half. It was in our collapse. But I've got a couple jerseys in the team store, a couple Archie Bradley shirts, Fear the Beard, Team Archie, blah, blah, blah. And dude,
the brand was strong.
Yeah, I am giving it up every time. I'm like 4 straight outings of 2+ runs given up. I mean, I'm struggling, but I'm still throwing whatever. I'm in the middle of a game against the Dodgers. There's like 10,000 people there. I give up 3 runs in a row. And this guy I had heard him yelling the whole time, and he hit me with it. He go, Bradley, I just ran up to the team store and your shirts are half off now.
Oh my God.
And I remember hearing that on the mound. I was like, damn, that's a good one.
That's a good one. That stings.
That would make me laugh too.
Yeah. Where I will say where I noticed crowds and really started to notice the difference was pitch comm, no pitch comm.
Oh, really?
Once PitchCom was introduced, like at first, I think when they first talked about putting a microphone in our cap, and I was like, this is stupid, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? And then I remember pitching in Yankee Stadium back-to-back days with the Phillies, and PitchCom and no PitchCom. PitchCom malfunctioned the second day for the Yankees, so they cut ours off to make it fair. And I remember trying to look at signs and like literally looking at JT and being like, cool, like the stadium was shaking. It was so loud versus like fastball outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, that's why I'm such a big component of putting butts in the seats, like D-backs fans. Cause like you do notice, you do hear there is a vibe and an excitement that you start to feel. And it's funny, man, like the best is you can pick out individual voices better than you think, honestly, especially when a guy's talking crap consistently. So the best is you're up there like arguing with this fan in your head while you're pitching. Like you're like, dude, screw this guy. Like, dude, okay, well, crap, I need to figure out how to throw his fastball right now. Like, let's get back on track. So
you strike him out and you're more worried about,
what that one guy thinks.
Yeah, take that. Except other than the batter walking off into the dugout.
And even, like I said earlier on, like you get a ton of DMs and Instagram death threats. Hey, you blew my bet. And you just learn like that's life. You know what I mean? Like if you don't take it seriously, you laugh with it. Like obviously I think there are some players that maybe do have some more serious things to worry about in some places.
For
like
sure.
Playing with Bryce and Mike Trout, dude, and Ohtani, I saw some crazy stuff where you actually do worry about some of those guys' safety in some places. But
meanwhile, you're like, good to be me.
I had tons of guys, especially with the betting stuff becoming more popular. A ton of guys send me their parlays and bets and like, you effing idiot. You couldn't give up less than 2 runs to the Yankees. Like and like some guys I'd laugh, a couple guys I'd send $30 to cover a beer or something like that. But take it with a grain of salt. And ultimately a lot of it, you just learn like outside of it, man, it's another day. You are getting paid a lot of money. I do think there's a line that's kind of been crossed since COVID of kind of taking things a little too far. Like I'm all for good shit talk. You want to talk trash and like you want to bring up statistical numbers and all that. I'm cool. But like anything, when you start getting personal, you bring up family, like, all right, that's when now we're equal. Now I do want to hop in the stands and let's exchange some words. But you want to talk about the homer I gave up to Matt Kemp. Matt Kemp's my dad. Like, I love that. Bring it on. You know what I mean? Like, come on, I'm all for that. Like, that's fun.
There was one guy at a game, and it's for me, it's those games where there isn't a big crowd, so you can hear that one guy. And like there was one guy who was like, you went 0 for 16 in the last 12 games. You bum. And like everything he ended with this notorious you bum.
Yeah.
And it became like part of my
And I'm all
vernacular.
for that. You as a fan, but again, let's keep it statistical and on the field. When you get personal, all right, let's meet outside the clubhouse. You know what I mean?
I mean, personally, if I sent my parlay to a player, which I don't do this, but if I sent it to a player and I was like, you blew my parlay, and he sent me back a Venmo for $30 and said, here's a beer on me, I'd be like, this is my favorite player
of all time.
I think
ever for life. I'm locked in.
Brent Rocker for the A's sent a jersey to a guy. But I've always wanted to do a funny skit. This pertains to the bullpen or any athlete, across any major league sport, I think can understand this. But I would love to have fans like us, like athletes, like have all of us athletes in the Valley. Kyler, Book, KD, me, Griner, all these people back here just yelling at you guys while you're trying to do your podcast right now. Asking for your pen. Can I get your computer? Can I have your microphone? Let me get your shoe. Let me get your wedding ring. Let me get your Apple Watch. People just think that we get everything for free and like, oh, we're going to give you our glove. Yeah, that. And then but then right after, Derek, let me get your autograph. Like, dude, you were just mother effing me, and now you're asking for my cleats. But I would love, let me get your pen. Let me get your pen. It's like, dude, I need this pen. Let me get your computer. Like, dude, you think that PHNX just gives us Apple computers? What are we doing here?
No,
but I think it would be hilarious to go to all these different office settings and act the way fans act while people are trying to do their job the way they do to us. I'll buy a ticket if I have to. I'll pay the price I need to pay.
That's a good little skit. I mean,
that would be. But yeah, all in all, I think it's all in good faith, and initially it's what keeps the sport going, right?
So you're right.
We all silly like the mayor.